Ashe. Heart Happy Hour Season 4.
Precious mother love, precious
The Queen of the Wings and Things. Shout out to Grandpa. The King of the Wings and Things. For Grandpa was the person who had the wings and wings, wings and things, wings and more wings. Mambo sauce. In London, Morocco, and Puerto Rico, Mississippi, Cincinnati, and my home DC. They're all doing the same thing. The dance we call the chicken wing. And it's a dance about that spicy stuff. All right, I'm at the beach and I have a few things I want to talk about. I'm going to get out the car. It's a little bit of mist out here. And I want to talk about two quick things. One is in reference to the eclipse season that we're in. I am a Virgo, and the eclipse that occurred, the full moon was in Virgo at that moment. I mean, the full moon is actually in Libra, at least that's what it was when it went into its fullness, but then shortly after it was in Virgo. It actually hit Virgo as it was hitting the eclipse period. Now, can I turn this around? There's a couple of geese over there, and the birds are alerting themselves. Hey, there's someone on the property. They over there getting it in. So I'll show you in a minute a little bit more of where we are. This beach is going through some remodeling, and I may have to duck up underneath of the shelter here if it starts raining and getting pretty wet and wild. But in any case, I am at what's called Mayo Beach, and through there is where the beach is. So I want to talk about the eclipse season because it's got a major effect on me. Being that I was able to be awake and aware during the time of the actual eclipse happening. And like I said, it happened in Virgo. So I've been very deeply affected by, the organize and cleaning and to get yourself together. The season is about to kick off. Everything's about to start happening for you. Oh, hi. How are you guys? Hey, Kimberly. And I'm not sure how you say that, but hi to you too. And hi, Bendex, Bonto, Blanco, One Love and Wellness. So I'm finding that the eclipse season usually seems to happen around my birthday. This year, my opposite sign, or the sign that is in this full moon for Virgo, is usually my opposite, which is Pisces. And then when Pisces season comes about, the full moon ends up being in Virgo, which was last month, which was February. This is March. And so it was in Libra this month. But again, like I said, the eclipse hit it like 3 something a.m. And for a period of time, I'm going to turn it around so you can see the water and the birds. But yeah, they actually come together. The season is usually right around where, my birthday and my full moon birthday, which I don't know if you guys know, but the Christos, every month we have a Christmas. So the Christos, it's a bunch of boats out there looking like ghosts sitting in the mist, water sitting straight across. Let me see if I can show you that. But yeah, so it seems like, see, there's a boat there, and 2 boats there out in the misty water, in the mist. So But so we have every month you have a Christmas. Every month you have a time when it is when you are in season or your sun is in the the moon um, is in your sun sign, and so that is the time when you are most able to have the psychic connection, the intuitive connection to the elevated energy of. And when I say elevation, because I started thinking about what does it mean to elevate? What does it mean to ascend? What are we ascending to? Why would I want to ascend? What does the, awakening part have to do with the ascension? And so when I start thinking about that, that made me think about how it's really we're elevating to our higher powers. We're elevating to being able to have a deeper connection to things. And so I think I said on the last video, as above, so below. So if we are elevating, oh, your birthday's on Easter. So every year you have that resurrecting power energy available to you to tap into. And then on the 6 month period, which is when your full moon, when your sun sign is in the full moon, you'll be able to tap into the sacred side of that energy, which is what they say the lunar energy is connecting us to, which is a feminine energy, which they tie into the intuitive aspects of our connections and our abilities. And so I can't get on the other side of that fence. They're fixing the beach. They're resanding it or sanding it up because I can tell that there's more sand, but they're securing it as well because it was a lot of it seems to have washed away. The rocks are definitely not under as much water and are closer to shore. In any case, nice place I like to come to sometimes and be next to the water, and it's pretty wet, so I don't want to walk down too close. But in any case, I'm talking about the solar eclipse season. I seem to have this eclipse season uh, happening in my sun sign often, and so it's activating some things in me that I'm getting real sensitive to. Like I said about the organizing and cleaning house, getting my things together. It's just like this is the new year. And I said on one of my other videos that, New Year's is not around the time that it used to be over some other calendar periods before it became the Gregorian calendar or whatever this new calendar, the newest calendar is that we've adapted our lifestyles to. Um, I researched it at one point. Oh, those are huge ships, huge boats. Those are not little boats over there. You know, wow. And I see another one on it. So there's 5 huge ships out there. Anyway, one love and wellness, guys. I'm really doing that getting the new life, the new year together. And the more I've adapted my energy to nature's cycles, the more I see that when the Romans, and I said I was alluding to or getting ready to talk about the fact that I had researched that when the Romans decided that they would make April Fool's Day about the easily caught fish. It was because those people, and I think because the fish also symbolizes Christ or the Christian way. Look behind me. Yeah. Oh, you want to look behind me? Okay. It's just it's one of those shelters that they have cookouts and private events in, and this is the beach that we're at. And some landside here. I just walked down that little path, but yeah, it says, not sure what this channel is about, but just wanted to say you have a kind face. Thank you. Well, I'm talking about the eclipse season and how it's been affecting me. And I'm talking about how we're really, really, I started thinking that we were hybrids or GMOs of the aliens at some point. So I somehow seem to tie back and lead to, when I said, well, what are we elevating to? I think we're elevating to being able to utilize some of those, tap into some of the things that were taken from us as far as when they shortened those something with a T. I forget what it's called, but the telomeres, I think, were shortened. I'm gonna walk away from the water now because I think I'm gonna end this very shortly. But I just wanted to talk about how if you're sensitive, you're gonna be feeling these eclipses in this eclipse season. I mean, like the lunar eclipse was very powerful for me. So this solar eclipse that's coming up on April the 8th, uh, there's some really apprehension to being exposed to the energy that's going to be outside at that point. I mean, not like you won't be affected wherever you are, but the higher exposure uh, space is out of doors. And that leads me to a thought where someone was sharing, and I think, who was it? TK, the arch degree, was talking about that the lead paint used to be that they said that the babies were eating the lead paint, and that was a danger for them. So they had to remove the paint from houses that had lead in it. And they were saying, that made people go whatever. But to be very honest, what he was talking about was that the lead paint actually, like Superman's kryptonite, it affects him unless it's encased in lead. Unless it's encased in lead, if it's so the lead paint seemed to keep out the uh, electronic emissions or a lot of the frequencies that are being released in the air or that are, you know, in our atmosphere. But then also, um, he mentioned that they have different types of paints now that are um, reflective or deflect that kind of emissions, the radiations and things like that. There, there's a whole new lane of, you know, ways to protect your home and the ways to protect your energy. Your, not just your home, but you know, to keep your energy safe within your walls. So, in any case, just wanted to let folks know that it's getting serious. I felt it from the eclipse, the lunar eclipse. I can't imagine what's going to be felt on April the 8th and what we're going to be able to gather from that. Because, I mean, since that, like I said, I was awake during that eclipse, the lunar eclipse, the other night, like 2 nights ago. And I've been getting all kinds of major downloads. Like I've been writing and writing and writing. Like the topic of the last show, I wrote all those things down because those are things that were coming to me when I needed to, when I was meditating, or not even meditating, just getting myself together to think, well, what should I start meditating on? And thinking about, well, what am I now needing to pay attention to, or what do I need to do to start getting ready for, this eclipse? As I started thinking about it, and after things started happening, things just started going boom, 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 boom. And I just started writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. And it's just so much writing that, okay. So I don't know if any of this is something that I wanted to talk about. Um, I'll save these for the next show. But yeah, get ready for this next solar eclipse. These are vortexes. They say that the woman's punani is a vortex. They say that the times when the full moon comes, they say that the woman's cycle is tied to the cycle of the moon. Um, what's interesting about that is I had a thought about, women, they have women to collect blood in these. Now people are starting to use things like some cotton, organic kinds of materials, fibers, and so on. But previously, people were using like Kotex and tampons and things like that. And I believe that the toxic shock syndrome was something that was happening to people because of being introduced to certain energies during the time when your cycle is on, because there's a little bit of an opening, kind of like when when you're birthing, the opening, the mouth of the uterus opens a little bit, and at that time there may be some toxins that you can be exposed to toxins more highly affected by the toxins if it is introduced at that time and during that time. And it can cause like a regular monthly exposure to it. Once it's trapped in, it'll just every month will continue to resurface around that time. And the female's cycle being tied to the moon, like a 28-day cycle. You know, when you are taking birth control and you take birth control and you're not on the cycle of the moon, you mess your hormones up, and you actually have some mental adjustments to make because of the cycle being off and the release of what's in the atmosphere and cosmologically aligning. It won't align the same way. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. But it's definitely something that a lot of people don't pay any attention to. Now, I'm going to say this about the collection of the blood during the cycle time, because I think that there's a reason why they have these, um, the things to collect the blood in. And those are, you're getting rid of, like, that to me is a sacred time, and that blood that's being released from you is sacred. So to me, they're like, we're throwing away something like the placenta that we throw away every month. Well, that's what I'm saying. We're throwing away the placenta every month. We're throwing away that what could be used for something else. That some people use that blood for sex magic, to, they say that, you mix that blood in with things, or with food, or, to put it on your altar, or even semen, or even spit from your mouth. Those are considered sacred fluids, and those fluids can be used in energetic ways. It's just, if you know what you're doing, you'll have an opportunity to utilize it during certain cosmological alignments, meaning, like I said, full moons, which is a vortex, which again leads me back to what the gateway is about, which once you get used to being in the gateway, once you get used to being in that, piercing the veil, getting on the cusp of, it's actually the cusp of life and death. You're actually in the place where there's no time and no gravity. So the gateway meditation that came to me through a download is another way that I introduce how to make yourself just begin to get used to the thought, the feeling, the energy, controlling that space, that place, being in that space, that place, being able to impregnate that space and that place with what your intentions are. And it can be considered like magical. It can be considered, if you know, because, like, again, energy is not good or bad. It's just what you do with the energy. Now that you know that it's energy, now that you know there's some potentials that you can do with these things, you can get creative, utilizing your God spark as to what resonates with you, what'll help you. Some people burn candles. Some people, um, you know, uh, are in darkness and like to be in a very dark place. Some people like to have incense or fragrances and stones and different things that connect to them, that resonate with them, that they utilize for their own rituals. I mean, birthday parties are rituals. New Year's Eve, when we sing, oh, da, 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 that's, a tone that has certain frequency, that has certain energy, that the words say something, the music says something, the timing of when we say these things has an energy. All those energies come together to manifest or magnify the energy that you're trying to get to, or that you want to get to. Again, the gateway meditation, man, I just want to let you guys know it's a real thing. It helps. And I discovered that that there were some alphabet organizations that have programs that are very similar to the things that I downloaded. And I found recently I got an invitation from one of those agencies to come be employed with them. And I'm not sure, it came about when I started really getting into giving out information about the gateway. So, I think I'm on to something. I think that, the more I dig into this, the bigger it gets and the deeper the rabbit hole gets. And like I said earlier, as above, so below. So the deeper I go, the higher I can go. The resonation of the elevation of me bringing in more into my kingdom, me being able to expand my kingdom into a grander scale, like the way that I think has been elevated, that I can think more on a grander scale. I can think more on a universal, on a multiversal level. So just wanting to share those things with you. One love and wellness, Ashe. I hope that you guys will come back some point soon. Heart happy hour. We talk about how to have a happy heart, and for me, the science of self is one of the ways. The science of self is helping me to get in touch with my powers, my controls, my sensitivities, my expansions, my elevations, and I'm just sharing them and hoping that in some ways that these things that I think about, that I research, the angles that I take, the things that I connect together might have some value for you, so that you can chime in. And if you have any questions, definitely, give me send me a question, inbox me, whatever the case is. One love and wellness. Love plus art equals wellness. Ashe, precious mother love. Y'all come back now. You hear? No music today, no poem today, but maybe next time. Ashe, one love. Peace.